welcome folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. It's going to be your October 1st, 2021 live sit rep coming to you from the great state of Texas. It's about 1,300 hours here Central Time. And so without further ado, let me hop over to our main board. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and bell for notification. And just taking a look at what we got going on right now, is sitting at about 357 up, which is a little higher. 250 is kind of our median range. But it's pretty busy out there. I see a lot of trainers are up too, but we'll be able to sort through some of this and look at it. One of the things that did look pretty evident to me is we've got a lot of air refuelers up, and we'll look closer at those in a minute and talk a little bit about what happened the other day. You can see we've got 3 Navy P3s launching right now out of Washington State. Got a little UAV that's been up for quite a while now, a couple hours, flying up here in the northeast, I don't know what you want to call it, just up over North Dakota. How's that? Midwest, I don't know what you want to call that. Okay, anyway, but that is kind of our item of interest now. Let's get over here. Let me see, we had this one down. It's a Mexican C-130. I'm going to cover a couple things, maybe a little bit disturbing this as we go through it. When I tell you the numbers of people we have coming our way from the south, it is going to be staggering. And oh, it's not good. It's not good. So, all right, let's get over here to Flashbang, see what this guy's got going on today. Now, I will tell you, it looks like he's headed home over the weekend. Not too much happening. It starts at 9:30, and you can see he kind of disappears. Probably already disappeared, but not really doing much in way of, I guess the public. And then we've got, of course, at 1 o'clock, you got Peppermint Patty doing her our press secretary briefing here. And so there is that. Now let's hop over here real fast to the TFRs we have going on. And you can see we've got the one that's up over his residence. Got a little yellow one right here. That is going to be an air show. And then we've got some, it looks to be new down in near O-Town. Let me just double check. That's going to be Disney. And let me see what this one is. Air show. All right. Sanford. That's usually a pretty good one, though. But there is that. Again, another air show. So I've got some little power outages and some storms rolling through down south. And let me just run across and see air show here. That's going to be Odessa. That's a standing security air show down on the border, plus some security stuff. So for the most part, let me see what these are right here, because those are new. Let me just double check. And I'm just praying my screen doesn't go black. VIP. Interesting. So out at the Palm Desert. So maybe we got a little bit, maybe that's probably going to be Bob Marley headed out that way, because I can already see Flashbang is headed home according to the schedule. So, okay, I'm going to back out. These are fires still ongoing. And let me see if that one is also VIP air show. All right. Okay, that's air shows. Let me minimize this, minimize that one. Let's get over to Mr. Bigley and see what he has to say, because I want to kind of point out a couple things. Now, this is interesting. So Trump posted on the 30th, which was yesterday. He said he snuck into a government funding bill, or sorry, not he, but it was snuck into a government funding bill that the Democrats are trying to pass, and just found is unlimited money to random, unscreened, unvetted Afghan nationals. So, yeah, at least, we got somebody that's eyeballing and putting it out there. So it'd be good to get this guy back. That is for sure. So, all right. Now, also just a little data point. Remember, tomorrow is the day that his 21 days of prayer request actually ends. And so, see if anything happens. But, all right, let's break away from that. Let's head over here to Biggs and just kind of show you what's going on here on the board. Now, I will tell you, if you notice on the arrival side, that it's pretty lean. These are actually going to be just trainer flights here, but do notice that it does not match what has been leaving. And so one of the things I want to point out, I'll pull this up a little higher so that my big chrome mag isn't in the way of this, but right here and right here, are those are basically, if I had to guess, they're sending poppies to Eglin over into Fort Walton. Okay, that's going to be a Swift Air, and that's going to be the Allegiant Air, and that's an A320 and a 737. So it looks like they are beginning to out-process the folks that are willing to leave from the immigration complexes and pushing them out into the cities to make way for the next wave. Okay. Now, my understanding, as I watch the Southwest flights earlier this week and watch some of the other flights coming inbound to the country, that we are starting to get the next wave pushed in of poppies from Afghanistan. So that's going to be probably, I think the number I saw was like 37,000. So triple it, probably really closer to another 100,000. But there's that one. Okay. And so we'll continue to keep our eye on these bases where they're bringing people in. Now, the other piece too is this right here, Homeland Security. You may have noticed the other night I did a sit rep. We're getting a lot of surveillance along the border right now, and not we know it's because our borders collapsed. Maybe they're just trying to get a real bead on what's going on here. But this is Homeland Security this morning, and so they actually have run. They started out about 7 a.m. and doing routes along the border, coming across El Paso, looking around for some folks, probably some fence jumpers here. And then we get over here to this area as well. That was another run. And come on now, my screen's not wanting to cooperate. Yeah. And you can see them right there really circling in on some folks. So, yeah, there's that. Okay. Now, the other thing, too, I want to point out, I didn't have the opportunity. I should have caught it on a screenshot for you. But we did have an R-135 yesterday roll out of central U.S., headed all the way down to Bogota, Colombia, but they just kind of followed this route along here as they came in. So kind of swept it along the Gulf Coast. I would imagine it's because the route that these folks come up into our country is probably this route, and they're probably trying to get a head count on how many people are there. But very interesting knowing what that aircraft can do. So the data that they were probably collecting is probably going to be utilized in the near future. And I will show you that in just a second. Okay. So this is going to be Homeland Security doing some routes. And then this is actually one of our little Dash 8s. This was active the other night also, running across the border. I don't know what was going on here in Texas, but they seemed to be very alert and had a ton of surveillance aircraft up in the state of Texas. And so it was kind of crazy. So for those, if you haven't seen it yet, I'll give you just kind of a quick 30-second one. But this was actually a sit rep that I did that probably was about 6 minutes long. It wasn't very long. It was just a quick burst. But check this out. This is what happened. The other day we were doing our sit rep. It was on Wednesday. This was a situation earlier that day that we had a sea of air refuelers actually pop up and rolling out, which I thought was very interesting. And I mean a bunch of air refuelers, and they just kind of they rolled out of Spokane, Washington, and then went over here. This is actually in Idaho. I think it's Missoula. Kind of hard to see behind that, but same tail numbers, and then they went all over the U.S. It was almost a surge effect. Well, at the same time going on that same day, we actually had a whole bunch of intelligence birds up over the state of Texas. I think we had 4 Sentries up. We had 37 H-60s up. It was just, they were running all over the state. And then, of course, we had some Spec Ops birds going on in the panhandle of Jacksonville that they rolled out of, actually, they ran out of the panhandle to Jacksonville, sorry. But my guess is that they were probably going to pick up some high-speed dudes, some pipe hitters, and then they rolled out from there. I couldn't see where they went, but that was just kind of a data point of what was going on. So there was definitely something cooking up on Wednesday. And again today, we still are seeing a pretty elevated number, a lot of air refuelers. and a lot of fighters. I see a lot of Congo lines running here for trainers, things of that nature. So, okay. Now let's get over here. We were looking at Alamo, which was one of the Dash 8 spy birds. Okay. Now this is actually going to be Mcguire Field, and this is where we're starting to see. This is a 747-400 coming in under that whole camber, which is the U.S. Transportation Command. That one rolled in from England. And so that, I believe, is another round of poppies that were being brought into our country. And then, of course, you see the departure headed out to Dias of another aircraft here, National Cargo. And let me see if we got anything else on there. Doesn't look like it. There's this reach that went to Little Rock that came out of there as well. So, but that looks to be like we're starting to see. You can see Air Transport International. It's a en route that's coming in. It's a 757-200 coming in from Baltimore, Washington. So yeah, it looks like we're starting to process poppies again, and then we should probably see another uptick because they're coming to the end of that quarantine period. Okay. And I said Missoula. Yeah, it is in Montana. I don't know why I'm pointing at Idaho was on the map there. So, okay. Now let me get back over here. This is going to be Laughlin, and Laughlin is, let me back this up just a little bit. Laughlin's kind of quiet today. I was expecting to see some type of an uptick. Let me hit the more section and see if we've got anything at all. We do have, now this was the Omni Air from Tuesday, and then we've got another Omni Air that came in. That was the same thing on Tuesday. So outside of that, we didn't get anything else this week, which is very surprising. Okay. Of course, the Omni Airs, they've been hiding their flights. So I guess they don't want the bad press. But there's that. Now let's get over here to Port-au-Prince. We can see kind of where they're headed. All right. Now this is, you can see the flights that are coming inbound to Port-au-Prince. Let me see if I've got them on here still, because this board's been kind of, there is still a Laredo, that's Eastern Airlines, that's moved down quite a bit. And then we've got the Valley, which is World, also. So that's out of Harlingen, Texas. So we are still moving. It looks like coconuts back to the islands. Okay. So we still have that going on. And then on the schedule coming later, we have another Laredo coming in from Eastern. And then we get down here to, I know I saw another Valley on here somewhere. I thought, no, that was Laredo. That's only one. Okay. All right. Well, maybe not. So there is that. That's what's cooking on the board for this one. And then, of course, over here we get to, I just call it Capitan, which is just kind of north. So you got Port-au-Prince down here. I pointed to this the other day. I don't know why I was pointing that. I know Port-au-Prince is down here. So, but this is Port-au-Prince here, and this is at the other alternate location. Now you'll see today we've got Swift Air coming in from Valley, and there's that one. And let's see here as my mouse is cutting out on me. Boy, I'm on a roll today. Excellent. All right, well, so we're going to just kind of measle along here. I knew this thing was cutting out. I don't know why. I should have charged it. Maybe I didn't. But anyway, so there's that. And then en route, you can see we still got Swift Air coming in from Laredo. And that's going to be probably, let's just pray that this mouse gets us through at least part of, it doesn't look like it's going to give me all of it. But so, yeah, it looks like we still got them coming inbound from Laredo. All right. And so I'm going to get on through this before I have. So when I was doing my breaking news the other night, my screen went just completely black again. So that's when you know you're over target, when you start having all these technical issues. So, all right. And I don't know why my mouse started acting up just now, but all right, it's with us, right? And just pray we get through this next round of tabs here. All right, now this is Guantanamo Bay. Just kind of watch. It looks like everything's normal on the arrivals and departures board. Then you can see we do have a United Airlines coming in from Washington Dulles. That is due to this taking shape. We are wrapping up on the case here. This is going to be a motion that has been going on all of September. It looks like today is the last day of that. So tomorrow they're probably taking the media out. And then we start watching Guantanamo Bay to see if we get any of the coconuts inbound to that location, because my guess is they don't want to do that right now with the media all there covering trials. That would probably be pretty bad optics. Okay. All right. There is that. And then if we look over at this bird, this is one that's been bouncing in and out of Guantanamo Bay. I will tell you, it is now the last flight. This is 4 days ago. It was down up in Tennessee, and then it was down in Opelika. I just want to point this out because it has been going to Opelika quite a bit this week. As you can see, bouncing between Guantanamo Bay and Opelika. And so we'll continue to watch that one. That's one of our white birds, or white hats, sorry. And so that seems to be the flavor right now in terms of aircraft going back and forth to Guantanamo Bay at the moment. I imagine it's a regular flight. It's been taking place on Tuesdays and Fridays. So we just watch it in between there, though. That's kind of the interesting data point, okay? All right, and then N312FU, this was the Maxwell bird. We haven't looked at this one in a little while because it really hasn't been doing much of anything. I think it was down for maintenance. This looks to be a maintenance hop, if I had to guess. They do a little check ride, and then they bring it back and clear it. So we'll probably see this thing go back into action here shortly, okay? All right, let's get over to the live Swift air flights. You can see they're up and pretty active today. The main thing we want to look for right now, at least from this standpoint, is the fact that they're flying down into Central America and over into Haiti. So that tells you they are moving some poppies and bananas, okay? And so we are praying that they are moving them outbound, but I'm not so sure of that, given our administration and their ability to lie to us. But you can see on the board all the stuff they've got really kind of going on active right now. And so now this one here going from Alexandria, 72-hour holding facility, down to Guatemala City. That is probably definitely exporting some folks, okay? Now, here's the thing I want to show you, because this one got my attention, and it is absolutely mind-boggling, all right? When I show you this number, this is like just a giant dumpster fire, okay? Check this out right here. Okay, now I got this from New York Times. I will tell you, I started to just show you the screen as a tab, but evidently Britney Spears decided to go naked in one of the island shots, and that was kind of one of the side items, and I really didn't want to post that up there and have that kind of floating on the side. So I just clipped this from the article and then just posted this. But this is coming from the Panama foreign minister, and he warned on Wednesday that up to 60,000 migrants, many of them Haitian, are making their way through Central America country towards the U.S.-Mexico border. Now that, friends, is why you've got Greg Abbott pushing all of our National Guard down on the border, okay, because he is going to shut that down. And so that's why they're going down there for 4 months, because this right here, 60,000 people showing up, is larger than I think any time that we've ever had anything come through. You think that 10,000 made a mess under the bridge. Imagine what's going to look like with 60,000. They will get overrun. I mean, they just come straight on through. There's no stopping it. There's no wall there, and there's really nothing to stop it other than people, right? Okay, so there is that. All right. Now, I am going to point out something real fast, too, just because I want to show you guys this. I think it's an important data point. If you have not had an opportunity to go read The Great Reset by Klaus Schwab, it's very eye-opening. But if you want to know what their punch list is on getting everything done, this is it. If you notice right here, front and center, involuntary migration. So this is one of their biggest things. You can see other elements on here like food crisis, water crisis. These are all like supply chain issues, things of that nature. So this is to me, it looks like a punch list, and not just like scenarios that could happen. All right, and so social instability, just national governance failure. You can see the things that are going to be right in their swim lane. They're actually implementing them as we speak. And so just wanted to point that out as we watch this this mass number of folks being pushed into our country in record numbers. That is exactly what part of the whole Great Reset. This is part of what they are up to. Okay. All right. So let me get over here real fast too. I just want to show you live transportation, U.S. Transportation Command. This is Camber again. These are aircraft that have been recruited. These aren't military aircraft, but they've been recruited by our DoD to move folks around. You can see we've got a 767 and a 777-200. One's rolling out of Saudi Arabia right here, and the other is coming out of Naples. Notice you never see a destination for these. That's because they don't publish it. They just basically pump it out there. They don't want you knowing where they're going. So more than likely, these folks are going to be showing up over here. You'll see them pop into the U.S. with loads of poppies. Okay. All right. Now let's get over to our Department of No Justice and see what they're up to. Now they are actually, looks like they're in Richmond, Virginia, currently flying. They're up as we speak. I will tell you, they just came out of earlier this morning, Albuquerque, New Mexico, went into Richmond, and now they're rolling out of Richmond to somewhere else. So those are folks you want to keep your eye on just because they are, that's kind of like their little go team. So when they show up somewhere, it's kind of like the dude from the Weather Channel, you know, things are about to get bad when he shows up, right? And so we just keep our eye on them for that reason, okay? The other one is the AG. He's the big do-nothing. This is Jenna 622. And just wanted to point out that he was, on Wednesday, he was in Appleton, Wisconsin. And let's see, that's where he is today, still there, okay? He's not come back yet from Wisconsin. And then this is going to be your Homeland Security Director, C-101. He's was in Dayton, Ohio, came back to D.C., and that just took place. And so let me get over to his sidekick, which is C-202, which is the Assistant Director of National Security. And he has been up in Massachusetts and then up here in Connecticut. So I don't know what he is up to, but, again, just kind of keep an eye on them because where they go kind of gives you a heads up of what they're up to if you connect the dots. All right. All right. And the last one is this Canadian flight. I just want to point it out. I probably should have put it up front in our flights of interest. We got one of them. It looks like it's headed down to Colombia, maybe. I'm not really sure. We'll keep an eye on that. But he's just rolled right over. I thought he was actually going to Port-au-Prince, and he'd never landed. He just kept on going. So it appears that they are headed down here into Colombia, which is obviously where all these people are coming from. So, all right. Let's get back over to our main board real fast. My mouse is still working. I will count my blessings. So I was off to a wild start there. Okay, now let's see if we got anything of interest. I do see that's going to be Gordo. That's going to be your night watch bird. He is up currently, and I got a little two-ship of C-130s rolling through. Let's get over Florida real fast to see what we've got going on here. Nomad C-130 coming out of Jacksonville. Looks like we got somebody lost at sea, and so kind of looking for something out there. Very interesting. So don't know what it is, but that's probably a stress call, or they're looking for somebody that's out there. I will tell you that with the hurricane that is out off the coastline here, this thing is still a Cat 4 rolling over Bermuda. That is a wave machine, and so they're saying they're like 50-foot waves out here. So that could be why we may have a vessel that's in distress out here that's taking on water or something crazy. All right, folks. So listen, that's going to be it for today. You guys be safe out there. Stay frosty, and we'll see you Monday with the next sit rep. God bless. Monkey out. You can check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworksus.com.